Hello Internet, it's John Monday, and I'm doing something a bit different, but I said I would do a top 10 video games response for Subliminal VCR and also a 8-Bit Boy UK. Clearly I am not on my desk, and also I'm wearing glasses, you don't see very often, but we're away in Yorkshire for a week for the Easter holidays, and something I noticed yesterday morning was that the view that when you come out from the caravans behind me and you can see out across the ocean is, a gorgeous view of the sunrise. But the sun had already partly risen by then, so I thought I'll switch around so we can see the sunrise together while I talk about I'm not going to do my top 10 games because I don't think I could do that easily, so I'm going to talk about the top 10 most influential games. So, can I switch around now? No. So, turns out it's difficult you can't actually just switch around on the phone when you're recording, so I'll have to do this in two parts. But yeah, okay, so this is where the sun's going to rise. I can see partly, I think, where it's going to crest. So I have my cup of coffee here ready, and I've also got my dog. So I'm zoomed in so that I can try to help see it better. Anyway, so top 10 games. Okay, number 1. Should come as no surprise to no one, Sonic the Hedgehog. But this is not Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive, it is Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System. The reason I picked this one is because the fact that it is, to me, the first proper video game I think I ever played outside of, well, I can't remember what it was, and my dad can't remember what it was, but we had some kind of computer game system that took cartridges, but we only ever had chess Pac-Man. But my dad got rid of it because he told me when I asked him last year if you remember what it was, he said he got rid of it because it was, he didn't find it that impressive. My sister after that my older sister got a Master System, and the packing game, because it was the Model 2, was what was it? Sorry, it was Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm just having a quick look to make sure that I'm not going to be an idiot, so this tree is not going to block it, but no, because I'm pretty sure it's over there. Okay. Sorry, back to where we were. Yeah, so the reason why I picked the Master System one is because not only was the game that actually properly got me into gaming, but also got me to the Sonic the Hedgehog series. But I also just find, outside of that, I just prefer the Mega Drive one because of the fact, like the way that they do level transitions where you see the map and you're going through the island, and the fact that you also can find the emeralds in the game, which I prefer as an exploration, a reason to explore, outside of doing the special stages like you did in the Mega Drive port. Okay, and game number 2, and that is, oh wow, you can start seeing it. You can start seeing the sun. This is one of the things I've always wanted, my bucket list for life. I've never actually managed to do, but how cool is this? The sun is coming across above the ocean. Oh man, it's so cool. Sorry, yeah, it's Tetris on the Game Boy. So in my family, we all started getting Game Boys, and Tetris was always the packing game, but that's the game that got me into probably into puzzle games. I just put hours upon hours into it. The default song is burned into my memory now as a result. So Tetris game. So by the way, this top 10 is any order. It's not the 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 or anything. So it's just as I think of them. Third choice is a game which is technically 2 games together, and the reason I say this is because I bought them together at the same time, second hand. So it's not like I bought the first one and then the second one sometime later. No, I bought them together and was swapping the cartridges out, as soon as we got home. So to me, they're one and the same, and that is Streets of Rage 1 and 2. Absolutely fantastic series, and the games that maybe I'm trying to remember how old I was when I bought them, second hand, but got me into beat 'em ups, but also I'm doing co-op with my sister. And then like even now I'm still playing these games co-op with friends. There's been like times where my sister. Oh well, I did play with her back in the day, but say when we would have people come over for say before we had the kids for like dinner, for example, and we would like, cause my wife's a doctor, and she would be talking like to her friend who is the doctor, but their partner is like also getting bored of the doctor chat. I'll go like, we'll come and play some computer games, and then we would do co-op Streets of Rage. So yeah, and it's a series that I still love. I didn't buy Streets of Rage 3 at the time because I just couldn't find it on the RY when it was out. And then after the fact, I was disappointed with it, but I heard about how they gutted it in the West, and that you really should play instead Bare Knuckle 3. Because if you do that co-op, that is the way to play Streets of Rage 3. And when Streets of Rage 4 was released, I like sunk like easily like 100 hours in that game. Okay, so that was game number 3, Streets of Rage 1 and 2, like gave me to beat 'em ups and also to co-op games in general. Game number 4, I'll just try to remember these as we go along. So is Super Mario 64. That is because when that was coming out, I remember going to our local Argos, and they had like a demo unit that people could try, and it just blew my mind, having just played like 2D style games and how suddenly a 3D world. My younger sister would eventually get a 64. She would pick Mario Kart 64 as the bundle game, but we bought Super Mario 64 I think second hand because we had to have that. And yeah, I never did 120 stars on that port original. I did it when I got the DS remaster / remake that they did later on. But yeah, Super Mario 64 for showing me what a 3D game could be. So that's game number 4. Game number 5, we're going to go with Half-Life 2. And the reason I'm picking Half-Life 2 rather than Half-Life 1, because when I got my first like part-time job as when I was 16, all the guys who worked there, now with the new money I was making, got to build me a gaming PC, because Half-Life 2 was literally coming out or just being released. And so I built that. I then played through Half-Life, the Opposing Force and Blue Shift, the 2 expansions, and then played Half-Life 2, and oh my god, wow, what an experience. Like, don't get me wrong, Half-Life is brilliant and is, considered one of the best games of all time for a good reason, but playing Half-Life 2, like, immediately afterwards, seeing the jump in graphics, the physics engine with the gravity gun, the storytelling, the world storytelling, it was just like, chef's kiss, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. And I still like going back and playing it now, so yeah, Half-Life 2. It's game number 5. Game number 6 we'll go with is the Mass Effect trilogy. Yes, I know, I'm breaking the rules again by having more than one. But that is a story that runs through all 3 games. I had my character go from 1 to go all the way through to the end of 3. I did all the side missions, I even did all the story DLC that they released. And these were just event games. Like back when I played World 2, I was still single. I would actually take a week off to play each game, just so that I would have the time just to do it. Bear in mind, I wasn't exactly making a lot of money, so I didn't really could afford a good old jet setting on holiday. But it was fun. It was awesome. I would get up, play through Mass Effect, and then I was also blogging about it as well. I just got into blogging at the time, so I'd write up about each day's experience. Yeah, it's great. So Mass Effect trilogy. So the reason I've picked it is just to show from a storytelling point of view, like having something that runs through all 3 games, and it is just a fantastic space opera. It's a pity that the sequel game Andromeda didn't really live up to the hype of what the first 3 games are made, but still, yeah, So Mass Effect trilogy. Cool, so that's game number 6. Game number 7, we will go with Final Fantasy X. So Final Fantasy X was the first mainline Final Fantasy game I ever played. I know, crazy, right? But growing up with like Mega Drives and like N64s, could never play the mainline series. And then a friend of mine from school was like, oh, come over and play this. And then what began is like over the course of that school year, I would go to his house after school, like not literally every single day, but like every week, like once or twice I'll go over, and I would play through Final Fantasy X. I absolutely loved it. I don't get me wrong, I can see why now after having playing the early games why people may not like it, but it is still, I think, for someone who's never really got into properly to JRPGs, well, sorry, the Final Fantasy series, there's other JRPGs that could be on the list, I think it's brilliant. So, and I need to replay it. I've replayed it since then, and it's like long overdue. Now then, so that was game 7. So game 8 we're going to pick is Pokemon Blue. Yep, so I remember first getting Pokemon because of I just remember seeing it advertised in like a back of a magazine for for American import games. I thought this looked interesting, and then next thing I know, like, the cartoon was on TV, and Pokemon Fever hit hard at our school. So me and my sister got red and blue. I had blue, she had red, and I was addicted to it. I mean, seriously addicted. And then it actually did get released here, and next thing I know, it was like this huge school event. Everyone was playing it, everyone was trading, everyone was battling. But you know, me and my sister in our school were there first, and we started playing, but then eventually I said, okay, let's redo this, and I will start the game and use the link cable so that trade over a set of starters so that both of us could have starters, so that I would start again and have, you know, so she could have all three, a Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and I could have a Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, and then we'd play through. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I stopped playing Pokemon after Gen 2. She had gold, I had silver, just because I was too addicted to the series. I couldn't keep playing. With Gen 3 I was like, I probably maybe should carry on playing these. Maybe I'm getting a bit too old for Pokemon, which, you know, people still love it now, nothing wrong with that, but I was addicted. Like, I had to stop playing Blue because like my thumbs were hurting from like playing the Game Boy constantly. So, and before we make the jokes, actually, you may know I was old enough by that point. Oh well. Okay, so that's game number 8. For game number 9, we are going to pick this one. Actually, I had to toss up between the two because you understand in a moment. It's what the game that got me into like adventure games, and the first one came to mind was on the Game Boy, Final Fantasy Adventure. But then also, technically, Link's Awakening should also be there. So it's like decided between the two. Don't get me wrong, like Link's Awakening would actually probably be in my potentially my top 10 games because it's a fantastic game and is what got me to the Zelda series. But then Final Fantasy Adventure is, I think, a fantastic adventure game. It includes the title. This is also the prequel to Secret of Mana. But like, it felt more like an epic adventure. Like you were traveling. So with Final Fantasy Adventure, I haven't played this in a very long time, but you start off and you're like a slave who has to fight in monsters in a slave pit and such, like, Colosseum. Your friend dies, and then you end up escaping and going on like a globe-trotting adventure. And it just felt like completely epic. Whereas with Link's Awakening, don't get me wrong, like fun adventure-style dungeons and puzzles and things like that. But whereas Adventure felt like more epic in my opinion. So that's a difficult one. I'll try to remember what I would had as actually game number 10. I wrote it down, but I haven't read it in like a couple of weeks. So, screw it. Adventure could be 9 and Zelda could be 10, because, yeah, we'll just do that. So, yeah. That is my list of 10 most influential games. I'll link Subliminal VCR and 8-Bit Boy UK below. Check out that channels, and I hope you enjoyed the sunrise. I thought I'd add a little bit extra, just because I thought the view of like the sun rays going across the ocean I thought was pretty cool, and also see a bit more of
where we're staying. Sorry, this is an additional extra I wasn't intending to do, so. But as soon as I came down those steps and saw this, I thought I had to include it.